जय कृष्ण बलराम, जय कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, जय कृष्ण बलराम, जय कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद, प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव, 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 जय जय गुरुदेव, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, 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 नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome to Srimad Bhagavad Gita class. Today we are reading from chapter 2 verse 30. I'll repeat. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam, dehe sarvasya bhārata, tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni tvam śocitum arhasi। देहि नित्यम avadhyoyam, देहे सर्वस्य भारता, तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। देहि नित्यम avadhyoyam, देहे सर्वस्य भारता, तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि na tvam śocitum arhasi.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Nityam śocitum arhasi.
Nityam śocitum arhasi.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Na tvam śocitum arhasi.
Nityam śocitum arhasi.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Nityam śocitum arhasi.
Nityam śocitum arhasi. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehi nityam avadhyoham.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata. Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni. Nityam śocitum arhasi.
Na tvam śocitum arhasi.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehi nityam avadhyoyam.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Dehe sarvasya bhārata.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Tasmāt sarvāṇi bhūtāni.
Nityam śocitum arhasi.
Word translation. Dehi, the owner of the material body.
The honor of the material body.
Nityam, eternally. Avadhyaḥ,
Avadhyo.
cannot be killed.
Cannot be killed.
Ayam,
Ayam.
this soul.
So,
Dehe,
Dehe.
in the body.
In the body.
Sarvasya,
Sarvasya.
of everyone. Bharata,
Bharata.
O descendant of
O
Bharata.
descendant of Bharata.
Tasmāt,
Tasmāt.
therefore.
Therefore,
Sarvāṇi,
sarvāṇi.
all.
All.
Bhūtāni,
Bhūtāni.
living entities
Living entities.
that are born.
That are born.
Na,
Now.
never. Tvam,
From
you.
you.
Śocitum,
Śocitum.
to lament.
Lament.
Arhasi,
Arhasi.
deserve.
Deserve.
Translation. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not to grieve for any living being. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul in describing the immortal soul in various ways. Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as a kṣatriya, should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher, Bhīṣma and Droṇa, will die in the battle. On the authority of Śrī Kṛṣṇa, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body, not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged, but at the same time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of sanction of the Lord and not capriciously. So, all the shlokas we have read till now, we have reached to verse 2.30, chapter 2, verse 30, where Arjuna is trying to avoid all possible ways to justify his statements not to fight. But Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa is also giving his own valuable reasons and giving him clarity where he should not give up the fighting spirit of a kṣatriya. It's a very common situation we see in day-to-day life The life gets more miserable and difficult when your own loved one, family men are just standing against you. So Arjuna is facing the same problem. He is seeing his elders, his teachers, gurus, and his own great-grandfather and grandfather standing in front of him to die in the battlefield. Arjuna is not just a kṣatriya, but he is also a devotee. He is having a compassion in his heart. So that is why he is refuting all in these shlokas and giving different, variety of reason why not to fight. Why should I fight? It will be this way wrong, it will be that way wrong. But Krishna is the Adi Guru who is standing here in the battlefield of Kurukshetra with Arjuna. Krishna knows everything, past, present and future, but then also the clouded mind of Arjuna is making him speak more and more about the way of life, how one should deal when one sees these kind of crises. Here, the first word is in translation, O descendant of Bharata. In all these shlokas, we see Krishna is addressing Arjuna with different names. Why this? Because Krishna knows how to trigger somebody at what point. Being a kṣatriya, Krishna is reminding him again and again, you belong to such a great dynasty. Remember, you are a Bharata. You are in the lineage of King Bharat. We should not confuse this Bharat with the Bharat of Ram Lila, the brother of Lord Rama. No, this Bharata is the Bharat who was so victorious in his fighting and his all way of dealing that the earth was earlier known as Ilavrata Varsha. But because of Bharata came to rule the earth was given name on his name, Bharat Varsha. He is such a big name even today. So that is why Krishna is triggering as a kṣatriya. Remember who you are, from where you have come. Remember your lineage. You can't behave like this. That is what Krishna is, psychological triggering Arjuna. Actually, when we see Krishna, he is not just giving direct approach to Arjuna, but also indirect approach through his words, through his hidden way of dealing with all such situation. When we talk about Bharat Maharaj, it really motivates any kṣatriya to become like him, to rule the earth, because he was the ruler of the earth. So this way he is motivating him. You don't, show your lower side. Rather, believe in yourself, gather courage and fight for the sake of winning this battle. Then, in this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that you need not to worry for anything. Who is going to get slain, who is going to get killed. Because the one who resides within the body never get killed or slain. That is the soul. The soul never dies. He is giving another understanding to Arjuna, so that clouds, what he is carrying within his mind, should shatter and he get the clarity. So Srila Prabhupada explains very beautifully in this verse through his lectures that there is always superior energy and there is inferior energy. When we talk about soul is a superior energy. Why so? Because it's all potent within itself. Body is inferior energy. Body cannot do anything without soul. If a person dies, body remains the same there, but the movement misses. That person cannot move, cannot breathe. The heartbeat goes away. So body is of no use. So the actual proprietor which moved away out of the body, left body of without use, is the soul. So soul comes in the category of superior energy, even though superior and inferior energy comes from Krishna himself. But then We should understand, we should always seek all our endeavors towards the superior energy. Prabhupada gives an example of a huge aircraft where we think we have done a lot of, as an engineers, they think they have done a lot of marvelous work in creating huge aircraft, airplane. But then this machine is nothing without a pilot. If the pilot is not there, that machine cannot do anything by its own. That is the body and the soul. It's very fantastic to see how these huge tons of kgs of aircraft are floating in the sky carrying 600, 800 passengers. But then if the pilot lacks any of the quality, then it's gonna get doomed. So machine is not that worth, even though it is, but the actual person who is handling all these things is the pilot. That is the soul within the body. The body is instrument to do our duties, to fulfill the targets we want to achieve in our spiritual life and then surrender to Krishna. So this body is just a medium. So Krishna is letting Arjuna know, don't be fearful. If you kill somebody, you will not get that sin of killing your own grandfather and your own relatives, because you're fighting for righteousness, because Krishna is advocating it. It doesn't mean that we all should start fighting because Krishna is advocating the fight. No, this is not the case, because we do have to fight our own self actually, to our own egos. If you have to fight your own ego, fight your own anarthas. Don't fight like we hear they fight it Kauravas and the Pandavas. We have many things to fight within. Then Prabhupada explains further on about the modes of material nature. When a body comes in contact with mode of goodness, they become Krishna conscious, they become spiritual in nature. But in mode of passion, it's all about himself, his own glories, his achievements. There's no contact or very less contact with spirituality. And in mode of ignorance, there is overall no connection at all. So one who rises his consciousness from lower to higher in the mode of goodness can achieve this higher purpose of life and can understand what Krishna is teaching. Otherwise, it's very difficult for people, those who are very new to spirituality, to understand what is soul and how the body varies from the soul. When we talk about, Prabhupada mentions dehī sarvasya bhārata. Everywhere, the dehī is the one who is having the soul. Everywhere you see, in form of plant, trees, animals, birds, flies, everything, that they carry the soul. Without soul, there is no body survive. And there are few things, those who survive without body also. So soul is everywhere. Sometimes we see so many microbes are floating. Actually, these are souls floating around. It's been mentioned in scientifically also, it's been proved that we are surrounded by so many powerful atoms which carries the higher energies within self. They call nucleus, and they then break it down further on. So we are always surrounded by the souls, whether with body or without body. That is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. And when we talk about the bodies, there are 84 lakh varieties of jivas. They exist, and human birth is very rarest. After completing a long cycle, we get this human birth. They are written like in 84 lakh species jivas, 9 lakh are aquatic. So you can imagine how many species you should have seen all your life, aquatic fishes and all. There are 9 lakh varieties. Then 20 lakh is thavar, non-living entities that come in the category of trees, plants. There are 20 lakh. 11 lakh insects and reptiles. 10 lakh species of birds. 30 lakh is beast, chopaya, animals, and 4 lakh human species. It's very difficult to conceive this point. 4 lakh type of humans. Yes, they do exist in the form of Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charavas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, humans, and so on. So it's all these analogy is already given in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where we see the variety of animals, variety of plants, variety of human beings. So Arjuna should understand that it is really very huge, and we are coming back again and again in one form or the another. That is what Krishna keep on mentioning, and then he tells that you should not lament. You should not lament for anybody you should not grieve for any living being. You should not. It's a very easy to say, but it's very difficult. Very difficult. If somebody goes from one's family, we grieve. It's a natural process because that person was associating for so many years with us. That person was a part of a family. That person was giving his association to us. Now that person is no more here. So it's really very easy to say, but then it takes a lot of spiritual practice to really digest that it's just coming and going. It's just coming and going. That's what Krishna is mentioning. You should not lament. You should not lament. And one of the most significant, fact of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is what I see lies in the fact that Arjuna has not left any room for any question. He has just asked everything. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, he has not left any question to be asked by us. We all are reaping the benefits actually. He has asked so much. How this, how that. So, why Arjuna has done this? He was the associate of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa for us, so that we can understand life better. Life is really very easy and really very difficult. It's how we deal it, how we take it. If we see psychologically also we have so many points to be happy. How to be happy? That you should not carry your baggages with you. You should adjust with your surrounding and people and always be positive toward whatever is coming your way. That is how they do psychological counseling. Krishna is also doing counseling to Arjuna in the battlefield. The first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is known as Arjun Vishad, the lamentation, the depression of Arjuna. And Krishna is handling it very beautifully. By not with one shloka, with so many shlokas in conversation, he is having a lot of patience, We should learn from Krishna. A lot of patience. Being a supreme personality of Godhead, he is answering like a very simple person. He knows everything. Past, present, future. Then also he can say, you just shut up, you know nothing, you this and that. No. He is very gravely handling the situation. That is why Krishna is Adi Guru for each and every person. He is giving knowledge very peacefully, very gravely. He is asking, Arjuna is asking, and Krishna is answering. Very beautiful conversation. And at the end, what he says, Karishe vachanam tava. After hearing all long Bhagavad Gita, he got convinced. Krishna has given him space. Take your own time. I am not in any hurry. Take your own time to get convinced that this is the process. So we also take our own time. We as an individual take our own time to understand, yes, this is the process. Krishna consciousness is the right process, even though we are within the process. But convincing yourself and actually coming up to it takes a good pleasurable time. Varies from individual to individual. One can get convinced in one class. One may take years and years to get convinced. So there's no worries. Let's be a part of this process, because we see Arjuna has also taken his own time to understand that I should do what Krishna is telling me. So let us we also endeavor to do what Krishna is telling us. Very simple, but it's not that easy. It takes time. Srila Prabhupada further explains sadhunam samdarshina. That is a quality of a good devotee. Mahabhagavata samdarshina. All these animals, all these chapayas, padapas, plants, beasts, birds, flies, they all should be seen with the same eyes as you see a devotee, as you see a non-devotee. They are considered same in the eyes of a sadhu. Why? Because sadhu knows they are just different in their bodies. Internally they are the same spirit soul. And that spirit soul cannot be killed. It just keep on moving in its cycle of birth and death and keep on changing the bodies. So sadhunam samdarshina. We should always meditate on these shlokas. Try to be equally posed. Try to see equally to each and everyone. In our devotee community also, outside also, inside also, try to be, equiposed in most of the things. And how to perceive that? How to perceive that samdarshina? So there further Srila Prabhupada says, premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena Santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundara achintya guna swarupam govindam adi purusham tamham bhajami. So this is, just put the ointment of love in your eyes for Krishna. And when you love Krishna, automatically you start loving others. It is contagious that you can't get, it's very difficult that you love Krishna and you hate everyone. That doesn't exist. That statement cannot. If you love Krishna, you actually love everyone, because Krishna is residing in each and everyone. Because soul and super soul always resides together. They are nitya sangi. They can't live without each other. So if a person is alive, he is having soul for sure, right? So if soul is there, it means super soul is also there. Paramatma is also there. So if Paramatma is there, how can you hate somebody? It's very difficult. Sometimes we see, I only love Krishna, I don't like others. You have to like others. It's a practice place. It's a place where we learn. We are learning how to serve Krishna, how to offer bhoga to Krishna, how to do our deity worship, how to deal with the devotees, how to take care of each and everyone. We are here taking all this practice so that we can use this further when we will maybe reach, for sure Prabhupada says, yes, surely, all practicing devotees I will take care of. When we will reach in Golok Vrindavan, we will be continuing our seva. We have done a lot of practice here. So start loving and caring for each and everyone, so that when you reach Golok Vrindavan, you are full of love. Before that you can't reach. So premanjana churita bhakti vilochalena. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning you should always have eyes full of love. Then only you can see what? Sadhunam samdarshina. Then you can equally see others. Otherwise we will always keep on the balance, we will keep on measuring good and bad. Arjuna is also doing this at this present moment. He is also measuring what is good for me. So clarity of mind is very much required. That is why Krishna is giving all this sort of explanation about Jiva, Paramatma, and soul always existed and keep on existing. Even if you die, everybody die. So this, why we need all this philosophy? To get more clarity. Because every individual will not understand with the same shloka. That is why we have 700 shlokas in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I may get convinced with shloka number 30. You may get convinced by 35, by further on, with next chapter. So every individual is having a unique connection and a unique understanding to perceive Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why we give and hear classes. So that maybe one day you will get hit by one point and can revive all your consciousness. It can be a very small point and it can be a very big shot bullet point, depending on how you get convinced. So whether it's our arrival in this world or whether it's our departure from this world, we have no control. It's automatic. It's in automation mode and Krishna is controlling it. That is the beauty of this life. No control over arrival and no control over departure. Then also we keep on thinking, this is my life. It has been controlled by Krishna from the beginning till end. Only in between you get a small space to enjoy your free will. Free will to be a devotee or to be a non-devotee. Free will to love others or to just keep on finding fault in others. It's our free will. So Krishna has given us, because we are evolved in so many, in 84, Jiva Yoni, we have traveled and we have reached here in human birth. So this much free will is given to us to make our decisions. And then we are entitled to taste the fruit of our own decisions. Then here in Purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that Arjuna as a kṣatriya should not abandon his duty out of fear. So do we also see it getting related to our lives? Out of fear, out of anxiety, we also try to avoid our duties. See, duty for each and every individual varies. Same with Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the essence remains the same, but the implication varies. How you gonna imply it in your situation will not be similar with mine. So the implication varies, but essence is same. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna, you should not fear and do your duty. So we should also have to do our duties. We should not run away out of any fear or any anxiety or any kind of drawbacks or baggages that we are carrying on our shoulders. We should continue doing our duties. Duties also varies from time to time. But as a devotee, devotion is our prime duty. Because we have taken the vow to be a devotee, we have taken initiation, we are chanting fixed round, we are reading, we are hearing. So as a devotee, our devotion is our first duty. And then with time it varies. Like as a woman, when she is in her school or a man in her school, the education is their priority. Then after marriage, the family life is their priority. Then children. So it keep on shifting from one phase to another. One cannot say that I am confined to the same thing. That is not possible, because life keep on changing and we keep on learning. Every day, something good or bad always teach us something. Every question has an answer. But that answer gets justified when we actually apply it in our life. So here in Purport, Srila Prabhupada explaining about the duty, that you should not run away from a duty because you are a kṣatriya, you should fight. So we should also learn about our own duties in respective places. And some of the people, like those who are not spiritually enlightened, they say there is no soul, body is just a combination of some chemicals, and at a level of maturity when this chemical comes, human life evolves. That is totally rubbish in all aspects, because this form of fine humans with matching DNAs with the ancestors cannot get involved just by combination of chemicals. Even though chemicals exist but at the lower level, consciousness is at the higher level, and soul is the most superior one. So Bhagavad Gita totally disagree with this kind of statements where people say it's just a combination of chemicals at a maturity level. No, life is evolved after so many evolutions from one stage to another, from aquatic to land, then to human birth. So it has its own way of evolving. It is not by chance. It is properly designed by Krishna. So when we know it is all fixed, so we should follow the instructions of Krishna and we should not grieve for anything. That is what here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, that dehī nityam avadhyo. So there is no death for the soul. So there is no lamentation for Arjuna and for us. So let us get over this and understand the higher purpose of life, the superior nature of life, that is soul. And material body is inferior nature of this material combination, even though that has come from Krishna himself. But like we eat, there is an example, we eat like in our body itself, when we give somebody something. So right hand is considered to be superior than left hand. Even if you try to give somebody with your left hand, it's very much popular in South India, also in north side of the country. When you give somebody with your left hand, they will not accept. It is not acceptable. Within the body, superior and inferior. Then you have to give that thing with your right hand. These are the injunctions of scriptures. You cannot have any disagreement with this because it's been mentioned like this. So when in a body you have superior and inferior, so you can understand the hierarchy of body and soul, what is inferior and what is superior. Let us take the shelter of the superior one, the soul, the super soul Krishna. And I stop here. Any questions or comment, please? Yes, please.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do we love other living entities the same way we love Krishna?
I'm sorry?
Do we love other living entities the same way that we love Krishna?
No, the love for Krishna need to be very strong, very pure. But then we practice here. We try to practice here and love others up to the level where we can get connect with Krishna. It is our internal involvement, not to get attached. There's two different things, to love someone and to get attached to someone. If you are loving, giving, making that person flourish, happy, that thing is from our side. But when we get attached to it, that is again going to give us pain. You have to have attachment with love only to Krishna. Otherwise, keep on loving others and keep on them moving in their life. Once you're going to get attached to something, it again going to bring you down. All your spiritual endeavors and other things will start moving away. So one can only love Krishna the way we should love Krishna. Others can be loved without attachments. Hope I answer your question.
One side of this, we demonstrate our love for the living entities that we're compassionate towards.
Yes, compassion is the first quality for a devotee. Devotee need to be compassionate. If you are not having compassion within your heart, you are not a devotee. Because a devotee sees pain of others as his own pain. It's a natural process. When you keep on practicing Krishna consciousness, these are the side effects. You need not to do extra endeavor for all these things, to how to be compassionate, how to be loving. It comes by its own. Because we are actually full of compassion and full of love. So it's like we are coming back to our original self, to be very kind, to be very loving, to be very helping. This is our actual nature. Other things we acquire from this material world, and he say, she say, this way, that way. We learn it from this material world. Otherwise we are very pious, pure, like a child. When a child is born, he is very pious and pure. He knows he can't differentiate within good and bad. For him, everything is sadhunam samdarshina, equal. For a child, everything is equal. Because his consciousness is not deluded. He has not given extra information by this material world. Do this is good for you, this is bad for you. For a child, he is equally posed. So we should try to have that consciousness to get connected with Krishna. Any questions? Yes, Prabhuji.
Do we really have time? It seems like Arjuna didn't have much time. He was out in front of the opposing army. He had to make up his mind pretty quick.
We have time to love Krishna?
No, to surrender.
Yes, we have. It's just 1 minute.
Oh, yes.
It's just 1 minute.
1 minute.
It's just 1 minute to surrender. Otherwise, if you're not shedding what you're carrying, you will keep on carrying it life after life. You have to shed it. Shed and surrender. And Krishna knows your endeavors. Whom we need to show our endeavors, it's between you and Krishna. Your sincerity should be visible to Krishna. It's not about people, it's about you and your Krishna. Krishna is unique and individually present for each and every one. You can see him in a different manner. I can perceive him in a different manner. It may not be appealing to you, but that way of connecting with Krishna for me is something very beautiful. Yeah. Hope I answered your question. Yes. Okay, then I thank you everyone to be present here. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.